If you're watching this, it means I'm on Outward Bound with the new ninth graders. Some of you might feel sorry for me, but I actually love outdoor adventure and I'm happy to contribute to the mission of SCH in this small way. And with me gone, it means that the incredibly important work that happens at the beginning of the year will have to get done separately. I've done a lot of the planning already over the summer. I've poured all the explaining into videos for you to watch and activities for you to take part in. And now it's time for you to listen, to take notes, to process these ideas and produce some responses. You'll also do some math review. Now, when I say take notes, I actually mean that while you watch my videos, I'd like for you to follow along with a notes packet and fill in the blanks. Like right now. Make sure you have one of these packets that I printed out for you and I've left on my desk, and are using a pen or pencil to fill in the blanks. I ask you that you do this mostly so that you'll have a written record that'll help you remember what you've watched. Now, videos and notes are actually not out of character for how we will learn this year. You'll watch and take notes on over 60 of my own personally produced math videos. I won't be standing in front of everybody lecturing very much at all, and this is because I use a model for teaching called the flipped classroom. So you might ask, why a flipped classroom? Well, let me first tell you what it is. In a flipped classroom, you take notes on a video outside of class, and then bring those notes back with you into class. And in class, we'll work together on problem lists out of the textbook, what you might normally call homework. I find this incredibly efficient, and that's because you'll spend way less time waiting for other students while the teacher goes at their pace, whatever pace that might be. You'll spend less time alone and frustrated that you can't move forward or that you're stuck on a homework problem. You'll spend less time hiding in class, watching something that you don't understand. I've seen so many students just kind of like, just hiding is really the best word, because they don't ask questions, or they just don't feel like interrupting things, and they just feel like now's not the time to learn. You're not going to be doing any of that. It's going to be way more efficient. That's because it's student-centered. You watch videos at your own pace. You could watch them multiple times. You can re-watch them for a quiz, and even in the environment of your choosing. Like you can watch them during a free, or at home, or on the road, on a device, whatever you want. You can work at your own level of independence or interactivity while in class. When I say that, I mean that you can choose to be incredibly independent and do them all by yourself and only ask a question every once in a while of the teacher, or you can bounce ideas very collaboratively off the people in your group. It's up to you. Next, you can get your questions answered just in time, meaning when you're doing the assignments, as soon as you have a question, you pretty much can get it answered. I do think that there is a lot of value in productive struggle. You should think about it and work hard on it, and then when you feel like you can't move forward, then you can get your question answered as soon as you want. The interactions are one-to-one, and they're highly personalized. A lot of what I do with my students, I do based on understanding their personality and what they need, as opposed to a one-size-fits-all. You'll be working in a resource-rich environment. You won't be working alone when you do your homeworks. And not only that, it's really convenient. Students who find themselves doing lots of makeup work, either for players or for absences, medical, vacation, sports, doing makeup work just seems it's a lot easier because you have so many more of the resources at your fingertips. Additionally, students can work ahead in my class if they see a heavy workload in their future. So that's why I do the flipped classroom. There's some misconceptions that students have about videos. Misconception number 1. After watching a video, you'll completely understand a concept, and that's just false. Videos by themselves are actually a terrible way to learn. You should not expect yourself to understand everything by the end of the video, nor should you expect to remember something for very long. It's not a good way to understand a concept, particularly mathematics concepts. You should instead have the expectation that if you've taken notes, you might be able to, this is a big maybe, you might be able to do the first problem or the easiest problem of a textbook assignment, at the very most. Misconception number 2, that you can remember what you watched in a video, like I've said before. And I will say that most people, and this is even including adults, will forget what they think they've learned within minutes of finishing a video. What little you've gained, you lose very quickly. So it's incredibly important that you take notes while you watch a video, so that you have something to refer to while you do your textbook assignment. Next misconception, oh no! If I'm watching a video, I won't be able to ask a question. I need a live teacher to ask questions while I'm learning. I can't do that when I have a video. Now, if you're watching math videos, you're gonna have questions, and you won't be able to immediately ask me those questions about what's going on. And that's normal. And in fact, it's a sign of someone that's actively paying attention and thinking, which is good. Like, if you don't have questions, then you're probably watching it too passively. So, one of the things that you'll need to get used to in this class is writing down questions that you have at the bottom of the packet. See, even in this packet that you have, there's a space at the very bottom for questions. Use that space. Fill it up as much as you can, as often as you can, and get comfortable waiting until the next day to get them answered. Now, if you don't want to wait, you can always write me an email. I will always answer it at my earliest convenience. So feel free to write me an email if you want. That's always fine. Now, for the purposes of these 4 days while I'm gone and outward bound, I probably won't be able to answer your questions until Friday night when I return to civilization. So ask your group mates first, and if that doesn't work, you absolutely need to ask an adult that needs to make a judgment call on something, then ask the sub. And if you need some sort of response, then you can send me an email at abergman@sch.org. In any case, it will be an exercise in waiting for questions. So, what are we going to do while I'm gone on this outward bound thing? Here's what we're going to do. And it's all on a to-do list. You'll see that printed in your packet, and you'll also see it on the website. And in general, we're going to be doing these things. We're going to be taking notes on videos about how we will be learning. It's incredibly important for us to think about how we learn, especially when the method for learning is so different from what any of you might have ever done. And when this video is over, you should follow the instructions on my webpage to join our class on edpuzzle.com. It's part of the to-do list, and you'll see all the other videos you need to watch. We're going to be reviewing some math, and then you're also going to be producing a mini project on what your group feels that you need in order to be a safe space to learn and ask questions. I call it the Safe Groups Project. And it's actually not an easy thing. You might think, well, yeah, pretty much every math class I've ever been in, I felt that I could ask the question, wait, how do you do problem number 6? Like, that's basically what we're looking for. We're looking to create an environment where you can say casually to the person next to you, wait, I didn't understand what this was, or how'd you find that parabola, or how'd you make this graph? That's actually an incredibly difficult thing to do, to make sure that we have a classroom environment where everybody can ask the question, how do you do problem number 3? So, why focus on interaction so much? Most other teachers start off with math. Well, now, why is this different? Why focus on interactions? And that's what we're going to be doing. First of all, the value of the flipped classroom lies not in the video that you watch at night, but in the interactions that occur the next day. People focus on the video so much because that's like the new thing or the flashy thing. It's not really about the videos. Videos are the way that I outsource the mundane aspects of education. You do that by yourself, and that's fine. And then when you come back into class, hopefully you'll learn the things that you really need to learn. And the golden stuff is in the interactions. Students can have an extraordinary learning experience if they have the right kind of interactions with their teacher and their group mates in class. A flipped classroom has the potential for a lot of student interaction. There's a ton of talking going on, and if you've ever been in a class where there's a lot of talking, you know that it has the potential to be a very social way to learn and produce work. But without some ground rules, this volume of student interaction will degenerate very quickly into chaos, where students experience feelings like intimidation, isolation, frustration. All these things are there. So the habits and the virtues that I ask you to adopt are really important to make sure that we have the right kind of interactions. So tonight, you're going to be watching a video on those habits and those virtues that you need to make sure you adopt. I'm going to be enforcing them. I think they're incredibly important, and so you'll take notes on them. And then for the rest of class, you've got things on your to-do list to do. Go find them, go do them, and when you go home, make sure you take notes on the next video, which is habits and virtues.